Hey everyone, I wanted to talk about some games I've been playing lately today. Also, I wanted to show you some pickups that I've gotten lately. But first, it is June now, and it is Pride Month, so in honor of that, I wanted to celebrate, just for a moment, the LGBTs in our lives. Gay! Whew, now that that's over, let me tell you about a little bit what I've been playing lately. I've been playing this Knight Chronicles game that I got a while back, but it's only been kind of recently that I actually popped it in and started checking it out. Now, this was recommended by my buddy Ace at Fit to Play Games. He's one of my YouTube buds here. And he made a video about how he just loves this game, so I was tempted to buy it. And you can get both the first game and the second game, actually, if you buy this Knight Chronicles 2 version. So I haven't tried the second game out, I've just been going out through the first game. And it's interesting, I guess. They've got kind of an interesting story, and it's like a JRPG, and you've got 3 different characters you're controlling, when you go out into the fields and then get into battle and stuff. And there's a lot to like about the game, actually. It's got very good graphics, all the enemies look really good, your characters look pretty good. The environments were really well done. You'll walk out into a field, even with the PS3, they've got trees and bushes and bright colors just everywhere. It's really nice to look at. Where the game really fails, though, I think is just the combat. And apparently when the first game came out, it was even worse than on this one. This one is a revised version of the first game where they apparently fixed a lot of issues. And I'm not noticing, like bugs or anything, so to speak, but just the way the combat works, it's just not very fun. It's kind of hard to explain. But you've got like a bunch of preset attacks and spells you can program into each character that you have. And you've got 3 characters running out at once, getting into battles. And you're only controlling one of them, though. And most of the time with the one person, you're only using like 1 or 2 attacks on each monster. There's really not a lot of depth in the game. Supposedly, you can use elemental attacks against each different creature, and it'll be, like beneficial for you to do that. But I started noticing, even if you find like the enemy's, weakness, your attacks only do like maybe 20% more damage or so. It's kind of weird, and it's just kind of a waste of time to even try doing like the special attacks. So I've been going through it. I haven't finished the game yet. But I think I'll try to finish it before I get into the second game, just because I'm kind of like that. I don't like playing through like 80% of a game and then just dropping it. There is a part I'm frustrated in right now. It's where you have to, I forget the names of the bosses, but there's like 4 bosses in a row you have to fight. And the last one, I've got him down all the way down to like 10% health. And then he just like, I don't know if he somehow just like silences all my guys and puts them to sleep and kills me every time. So I'm gonna have to figure out something to do with them. Anyways, I also got this guidebook when I was in California last Christmas. Actually, I found this at a half-price bookstore. And I've been kind of enjoying just playing the game with it. It's got a lot of cool pictures and everything. And it goes through each, different stage with you. It's got maps and all this. And it gives you hints, but I think this was written maybe before the game was updated, or maybe it was written for even a different market. Because a lot of the words they use for, like, especially the attacks I noticed were just completely different names for them. I thought that was kind of weird. And there's like one dungeon where you have to release a set of like locks in order to progress. And the guide's telling me to, unlock the locks in a way that doesn't work. So I'm a little disappointed with this manual. I think they put a lot more work into just like showing you all the different enemies and their stats and stuff, which, I don't know, it's not very exciting. And I haven't really used that at all. But I don't know, it's good to have this and just go through the game with it. I thought it was fun to do that. So that's what I've been playing lately, but I've also been getting some pickups lately. I've been going Goodwill, Savers, half-price books here, and I might have something from eBay or something too, I'll show you. So the other day I was at Savers, and they had a lot of Nintendo games, the original NES games, and I picked up Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 2, the arcade game for the NES. Now I have the other game where it's not like the arcade games at all, and I grew up with that one. I enjoyed that one a lot, and I actually think I still have my original copy for that. But I used to have this one as well, and I play this all the time with my brother. And we had a blast with it, even though it was kind of, you know, a crappy game. So when I saw this, I kind of just had to get it for like nostalgia reasons, I think. And it's not on any of my NES multi-carts either. So it was kind of an impulse buy, actually. I think I paid like $15 for it, which is, it's like a fair price. You know, on eBay, I think it's like $20. So I said, okay, I'll just grab this. And it's, you know, it's in nice shape, and I cleaned up the pins and everything. Pins were dirty, but after I did that, the game plays perfectly, and I'm happy to add this to my pretty much ended with an NES collection. I've got all the games I want for NES, except if I just see something that is kind of an impulse. You know, you guys know how it goes. Let's see, this game I got off eBay, actually. This is called Seek and Destroy. And if you look at this game, it kind of looks like just like a generic tank military type of game. And this is the American cover for it. They changed it. In Japan, this is actually part of the, I think it's called the Korokyu series, something like that. But they're all about, all these games are about like little tiny vehicles, like little tiny cars that have voices and they talk to each other and stuff. It's kind of like a Micro Machines game. But it's like in 3D rather than like a top-down, like the old Micro Machine games. But I played this one a little bit. It's kind of fun, actually. It's you know, you got this little mini tank, and you can move the turret up and down, and you can swivel around, and you've got to be a little bit strategic when you're going into battle. But it's kind of cool, even though it's like a budgety type feel game. I picked this up for like $5 off eBay, so I said, yeah, I'll try it out. And it's okay. Here's one I got off actually the same Goodwill site as this one on eBay. This is Ark the Lad End of Darkness. And I already have the first Ark the Lad game for the PS2. This is the second one. And I think it's supposed to be actually not as good as the first one. But this was on the cheap as well. I think they were selling this one for like $10 or something like that. And whenever I get a chance to add a game to my PS2 RPG collection, I just kind of do it. Even if the game's not supposed to be super great. I think I've got almost all the, well, at least I think I've got 90% of the RPGs on the PS2. So I'm not like trying to go for a full collection, but when I do see a game that I don't have, I pick it up. Here's one that I saw at Savers. This one, I never even knew this game existed, actually. It's called Watchmen, The End Is Nigh, Parts 1 and 2. And I don't know the history of this game. I remember seeing the Watchmen movie for a while. I don't know if this was like a you know, a downloadable game at first and there were 2 parts to it, or what was going on with it. But I found a nice copy of it, and I think I got it for $5 or $6 as well. So I'll check it out later sometime. And I got, this is from Half Price Books, the 360 and PS3 Wolfenstein game. Now my buddy Dean, he mentioned, I think he's made videos about this game too. He said this, I think he said it's his favorite game on the 7th gen, you know, on the PS3, Xbox 360. And I saw this copy at Half Price Books, I think it was $10, and I got it because it was in very nice shape. And I'm excited to see how good it is. we'll check that out later. This was from Goodwill, I think. This Jedi Outcast game. I played this for like 30 minutes. It seems okay. I haven't really gotten excited by it yet, but it seems like it has good graphics and sound at least, so I'll check it out more some other time. You know, I've never really gotten into the Star Wars games. I don't think I've really ever given them a chance, actually. I've always played them for like half an hour and then kind of got sidetracked or something. But I've got a bunch of the Star Wars games on the Xbox, you know, like the Knights of the Old Republic games, which I've heard are supposed to be the best. So next game I actually think I will put a lot of time on, that Star Wars, will be one of the first Jedi, Knights of the Old Republic game. But I've had them for years, and I've wanted to play them, I just never have. There's another Xbox game I got, Dark Watch. This is kind of a wacky shooter. It's like a first-person shooter. And this is on the PS3 as well, and I still have a disc-only copy for my PS2, but I saw a decent copy for the Xbox, so I thought I'd grab this. Unfortunately, I don't think the Xbox version is any better. I don't think it's in 480p. I think it's just kind of like standard definition. But this is a really good game. Here's a couple Wii games I found. The first one I found, these are both Goodwill too, I believe. Sonic and the Secret Rings. This is Sonic meets like the Arabian Nights, I guess, and he fights a genie or something. I'm not sure. Haven't tried this one yet. And the other one I got is Donkey Kong Country Returns. And this game is, you know, kind of a continuation of the Donkey Kong Countries on the SNES. And I still have the original SNES game. I think I got my original copy still. Let me look. Yeah, it's over there. I never played the ones after the first one though, so this one will probably be, I don't know, fun to play with, I don't know, some kids later or something. So, a couple more. This is a PS4 game I found at Savers, Shadow Warrior. Now I forget how much I paid for this, but it's kind of like I think it's maybe the last game that was made by Majesco Entertainment. And they're long gone now. But this game was supposed to be kind of weird. I think you're fighting, like, it's a first-person shooter, but you also have a sword. And I don't know a whole lot about it, but it got kind of interesting reviews, so I thought I'd check it out. When I saw it on the cheap, I just grabbed it. And the last one, the last game I got was on the PS4 as well, but first I want to show you this game. This is The Reckoning, or not The Reckoning, just Kingdoms of Allure Reckoning. And I've had this for years as well. It's been kind of an RPG I've been wanting to try. But in the back of my mind, I always kind of heard this game was just a little janky, so I haven't really popped it in just to you know, see what it is. But when I was at Half Price Books the other day, I saw this. It's the Kingdoms of Allure Re-Reckoning. And I guess this is kind of like it's not a remake, but it's more like a remaster, I believe. So apparently they, you know, fixed some kind of issues that the first game has, and, you know, they cleaned up the graphics and everything. So yeah, this game, I don't know if I should try this one first and then try this one, or just start this one and go through it that way. So those are all the games I got. I also found this item at at Half Price Books. I got a PS3, I think they call this model the Super Slim. This is the third generation of PS3s they made with the top loading door. And as you can see, it just kind of slides open like that. And some people really like these, some people don't. I actually do like them because you don't have to deal with the motorized disk drive, you know, spitting out the disk and stuff. You can just pop it open and put the disk in and then close it. But they are kind of flawed as well, you know, like with a motorized disc game, you got to worry about the the motor breaking, so it won't spit out your games anymore. But on this one, you got to worry about this kind of plastic mechanism breaking. And I've seen a lot of these that have been abused. I've seen them out in the wild and stuff when I've been game hunting, where, you'll push the button and the door won't slide open, or, you try to close it and it won't click shut. I think it's just kind of maybe like a flimsier mechanism. And a lot of these were just, abused by kids or whatnot, and they don't work anymore. So you got to be careful if you find one of these versions out in the wild. This one is actually a factory refurbished one. See a little sticker I saw on the bottom there. And it's missing a couple of its little rubber feet, but I ordered some and they should come in a couple days and I can just replace them. And I got this, this was on Memorial Day sale at Half Price Books. I think I paid 45 bucks for it. Came with a controller, not the best shaped controllers, little, I think it's one of the screws got stripped inside, so it's a little, not the best controller. But for 45 bucks, I said, hey, I'm gonna grab this because, not all these disc-based systems are gonna last forever, and it might sound silly, but I'm gonna, try to keep all my games for the rest of my life so I can play them and enjoy them still. So I kind of, stock extra systems if I see one at a good price, just in case some of my old ones break, I take pretty good care of my systems. I've never really had a whole lot of them break. I think I had my PS2 break, and my first PS3 I bought too. It's got a little issue that I think I need to replace the drive on that one. But, yeah, I think I've got I've already got two of this model, and I've got one of the second generation model and one of the first generation model. So this is like my 5th PS3 that I've got now. I think I'll be okay for a while. So lastly, guys, I have one last thing to show you, all right? This is kind of funny story behind it. What was I thinking the other day? I was on eBay after I was checking out PS3 controllers, because one of my original PS3 controllers just failed. It's one I've been using for a long time. I've always been, pretty good with it. I haven't thrown it on the floor or anything. But something inside with the circuit board just went out, and the controller just didn't work. So I started looking online. I'm like, wow, new PS3 controllers, if you can find them somewhere, they're usually pretty expensive. And I didn't even buy any because I'm like, I don't want to pay that much for a PS3 controller. But then I started thinking about, well, maybe I should get some more PS4 controllers. I only have 2 PS4 controllers in my collection. So I got on eBay and I found these guys. And as you guys know, out in the stores, if you can find PS4 controllers in the stores, they're still being sold for like 60 bucks a pop. And I found these on eBay for like 35. I said, wow, that seems like a good deal. And I read the description and everything, and I said, okay, they're selling them out of LA. It's some kind of maybe a Chinese product, but I don't know if they're official or not. So I just took a risk on them, and I bought them. And they didn't ship right away. I think that they took 3 days to ship. So I'm like, oh, did I make a mistake buying these things? And what did I do? I looked online because I got a little nervous. I said, are these things even real? So I looked up fake PS4 controllers on YouTube. And I think the first video that popped up, it was from 4 years ago, I think, or 3 years ago, from, I think Mystic made a video about this. And he had a bunch of these controllers, and he had some that actually looked like they were in the same box as these. And when he started opening it, he's like, oh yeah, this is real. Okay, what a great deal. And then when he started messing with it, he's like, oh, this is not real at all. These don't even work. And he was pointing out that when you like press the buttons on it and stuff, they don't even feel like the real PS4 controller at all. And so I'm like, oh crap, you know, what did I just waste? 70 bucks? And I said, okay, well, you know, I can return them if, you know, if they're just awful, I can return them. I think the buyer said, you know, we'll take returns, but you got to pay shipping. So I'm like, might have made just like a $15 mistake or something. Anyways, I don't think this is actually the same model as Mysticon had 3 years ago. I think this is like some other kind of, you know, this is like the second version of the old one that they had. And I started testing it on my PS4, and I gotta say, I was very impressed. Even though it's like a counterfeit, it feels exactly like a PS4 controller almost. I can tell, like, when you press these buttons here, they feel like almost exactly the same, but they're just like a tiny bit different. Maybe a little like softer, maybe. Same with the D-pad here. But when you move these and click them, they feel exactly like the PS4, like a genuine one. And same with the body. You know, you twist it and stuff. There's no give. You know, there's nothing rattling in it. I saw another video where someone was like shaking one of these things and it sounded like a rattle. I think these second versions they made were much higher quality than the ones they had a few years ago. So, you know, I've been testing them a little bit. I got this purple one, I got this berry blue one. Very colorful, I know. But I think the only issue that I really came across was the analog sticks. They're not as sensitive as the genuine PS4 sticks. I tested these on my Gran Turismo game, where on the high speed ring, you're getting up to like 240 miles an hour, and you can just like touch the analog stick to steer just like a tiny bit, and it'll register it and your car will start moving. This one on the fake controllers, you can like move it a little bit and nothing happens. Not a whole lot, but you can definitely tell it's less sensitive than the original PS4 controllers. But once you start going, the analog feel, I'd say it's 90% as good as the original, actually. So if in a game that doesn't require a whole lot of precision in your analog, I think it's perfectly fine, as long as these hold up and they don't break after a week or so. I haven't tested them a whole lot, so I can't really tell you the reliability of them. I did notice that on the eBay website, where I bought these from, I looked at the feedback, and apparently some of these did arrive to their customers broken. One guy was complaining that this button didn't work at all, and another guy was complaining that there was like lag on all the you know, the X circle buttons and whatnot. So I don't know. Hopefully these will be good to keep. But I think I'm going to keep them for now. I think they're, you know, as for a cheap alternative to a real controller, I think they're probably pretty good. Don't take my word for it though, because you might get a broken one or have some issues. I don't want to tell you my funny story. But anyways, guys, that's about it for today. Hope you enjoyed. Hope you guys are having a good month. And I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.